So, Happy New Year. But what I'm not going to say, that I've been hearing a lot, is, oh, fingers crossed that 2022 is a better year. Let's hope things get better. Let's be clear that what happened in 2021 was awful, but it wasn't an accident. It didn't happen by chance. There was an element of chance at the very beginning of the pandemic. But at that point, if we'd responded the right way, if the government had listened to the science, that misfortune of the pandemic starting could have been over in 4-6 weeks. Instead of which, we are in the mess that 2021 has been because of the government's incompetence and evilness. We don't have to live like this. There are things we can and should be doing, right? The government's now providing 7,000 air cleaning units into schools, right? There are 300,000 classrooms in the UK. We need 300,000 air cleaning systems so that kids can go into schools and be safe and that not be a vector for transmission of the virus. We need to increase statutory sick pay because the fact is that most people cannot afford to live for less than £100 when they're off work sick because they've got bills and responsibilities and family members they might be supporting. We need to increase that so people can genuinely take time off when they're not well so that they don't transmit the virus. We need daily testing for everyone, every workplace, every school, everywhere as standard. We need to pay NHS and other key workers fairly. We need to increase the minimum wage, and that would give more money to those in our society who have the least. And guess what they would do? They would go straight out and spend it because they need things. That's the whole point. And that in itself would boost the economy by putting more money into the economy. It's a well-known economic principle called marginal propensity to spend. We should actually start building capacity in the NHS. Even before the pandemic, there was a shortage of beds in the NHS. There were waiting lists for operations. We need to look at how we can build the NHS up so that there is spare capacity. And then the next time that a pandemic arrives, or a particularly bad flu wave, or there is some kind of natural disaster that means a lot of people suddenly need treatment, we'll have that capacity. And guess what? When we don't need it, that's fine. It's great to have spare capacity because that means we can slash these waiting lists. It means that when somebody goes into their doctors and they've got something really serious wrong with them, they can be taken straight to hospital, not told, well, hold on, we'll ring round, we'll see what we can do, we'll see if we can get something sorted out. There is so much that we can be doing to build extra capacity, resilience into our systems, right across our emergency services, right across all the support systems in our society. And if we choose to do those things, we don't have to have miserable years because a bit of bad luck doesn't have to knock everybody for six. In actual fact, we can get through it. Proper funding for businesses who've lost money throughout the Christmas season, proper funding for all those individuals who've not been able to work, all this kind of stuff, building the arts back up. There's so much we can do, and all we need is to do it. And that means prioritising those things that are important and that will work and that will make all of our lives better, and not prioritising protecting the billionaires, protecting the global corporations from having to pay their fair share of tax, and handing out bungs to the government's cronies and mates. And in order to do that, we need to come together and stop what is going on, because the government loves this story that, like, oh, whoops, something bad happened, you know, oh well, you'll all just have to live in this miserable way for a bit longer then. That is not what is going on. The way that we've been suffering has got nothing to do with bad luck and everything to do with evilness on the part of the government and incompetence on the part of the government. And if we want to live in a better way, we have to start calling that out, calling it what it is, and overthrowing this government and replacing them with people who are going to do a competent job and do the things that are good for all of us. And on that ends, I hope that you'll keep watching my videos this year, and I hope you'll keep sharing them. And if you can stretch to it, I really appreciate if you can sponsor me and we can make them bigger, better, hire people to help us do research, all those things that we want to do. And we appreciate your support throughout the year. And welcome to 2022.